Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Verde Arbusto, and this is the Schumann Resonance Harmonics Group YouTube channel, and I am making a series of videos on the Schumann Resonance Harmonics, but specifically about how to read the graph, the spectrograph. The thing that everyone commonly calls, quote-unquote, the Schumann. I want to explain how to decrypt that and how people can get to understand what it is that they're looking at, instead of stop talking gibberish when they're trying to discuss the Schumann Resonances. Okay, so first, this is, what's today, the 23rd of... the 25th, actually, my computer says, holy crap, of July 2020, and this is, the title is How to Read the Schumann Resonance Harmonics Spectrograph. Okay, so thank you all for joining me here to learn about the Schumann Resonances from a technical perspective. It's important to know what the Schumann Resonance is based upon the available scientific and field data. I'm continuing to tweak the format of these posts and updates, and I'm working to make this as concise as possible to assist in giving the basics on how to interpret and decryptify, quote-unquote, the Schumann. I want this to serve as an introduction, and I want to have a basic tutorial on the Schumann Resonance Harmonics. I'm continuing to keep things basic, and as I've said before, I am continuing to describe things which are very technical, so work with me, bear with me the best you can. And I want comments and feedbacks by people, and so please leave comments. I really appreciate hearing them and seeing them. Oh yeah, I'm near the park, and it's a lovely stream of characters that come through here. Okay. So, in the description, I'm putting some keywords. This is part one, and I'm going to get through as much of this as possible, and then I'll just continue where I was at in part two. All right, so there's some keywords that I have in the description, but there's a few that you got to know relative to the Schumann. And one of them is amplitude, is bandwidth, frequency, what resonance is, what a harmonic is, what the spectrograph is, what an induction coil is. So there's a list of words that I would highly recommend people to kind of brush up on, and I'm going to provide links to all that, etc. All right. So where I am in this is starting at the beginning. Okay. All right, so this is how to read the Schumann Resonance spectrograph, the thing they call the Schumann, quote-unquote, properly. All right. Okay. The spectroscope, which is what you see on the screen here, as it would properly be seen at or coming from or downloaded from one of the websites, either the Russian Tomsk University site or the one on Mr. MBB, he will link you to Tomsk, or the one from disclosurenews.com, they link you to the Tomsk site. So unless you're going to the Italian network, most places I've seen link you to the Tomsk University site in Russia. It's all right, so the spectrograph that you're seeing in front of you is the full color visual representation of the Schumann Resonances. It is a composite. This is plotted in full color based on the information received from the reporting dependencies, which you will see described below. The most widely publicized Schumann Resonances reports comes from Tomsk, Russia, and I am going to be going into the SOS, so-called SOS, and where Tomsk is and all of that, and Siberia. This thing here is a fun yet chaotic, quixotic visual aid. It is most often used alone, without the reporting dependencies, which ultimately will give it its meaning. This here spectrograph, the Schumann, quote unquote, is the solitary portion of the SR reports, which just about everyone who is anyone using this calls Schumann by itself. The Schumann Resonances, what they are, is a set of spectrum peaks in the extremely low frequency ELF portion of the Earth's electromagnetic field spectrum. Schumann resonances are global electromagnetic resonances generated and excited by lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface, the atmosphere, up into the ionosphere. The purpose of this here essay is to assist people who are interested in this subject to better understand what they are actually looking at when they view the plotted spectrographic composite, which is colloquially called the Schumann. Okay, and so when I do my daily readings for the Facebook group and for other people and anyone who's asking me and for my own edification, whatever, I explain that the interaction of the dependencies of amplitude, quality, and frequency independently, those, what I'm calling the dependencies, are what causes the effect on the composite spectrograph. I mainly focus upon the interaction between these three factors, which is ultimately how and why we get the interesting patterns that we do. It's my opinion that one can only truly know the meaning of these patterns, or the codes, as we're calling them, if one is oblivious to how the patterns get produced. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with the reporting dependencies and all of that, a person does not know what they're looking at in the full color spectrograph, which is like a tapestry. All right. So, so this is at 7.5 minutes. This is a good place to end. I'm right about to get into the first part, into the meat and bones of what the lesson is for today. All right, so thank you all for being here today. I appreciate it. Hopefully this works out well, and I will thank you all for being here. Bye. Have a great rest of your night. Namaste.